Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol, and this is Relationship Momentum. So today I want to talk about something that's really just sort of crystallized for me, because I've now seen this in 3 or 4 of the different coaching calls I've done in this last week. And that is the situation where you have a somewhat more normal partner married to a highly anxious, avoidant spouse. And we don't really need to get into why they're anxious and avoidant. There are just dozens of reasons why that could have happened. It could be medication, it could be genetics, it could be upbringing, it could be trauma, whatever it is. Let's just say they're highly anxious, highly sensitive, and somewhat avoidant, and the other spouse is somewhat more normal. And the normal spouse finds themselves endlessly frustrated by this mixed messages coming from the anxious spouse. On one hand, they're told they're wonderful and they love them and they appreciate them and I love having you around. And on the other hand, they're told, no, you're smothering, you're overwhelming, you're too close, I need my space, you're invading my privacy, and no, I don't want sex, and even affection and intimacy is kind of dodgy. So I'm going to talk about why you get these mixed messages and what the beginning of the process is to start unraveling the situation. All right, so you have the anxious spouse. They're always anxious. That means they feel vulnerable, they feel exposed, and they're always going to want some form of protective shields, some sort of, golden bubble around them where bad things don't frighten them. Tasks are not too hard, they don't get overwhelmed, and they can feel sort of safe and calm and not anxious. Their driving motivation is to feel not anxious. They're not even trying to be happy, they're just trying to be not anxious. So they need these protective bubbles to keep the world and stresses out. And what they like having is a big external, long-range, long-distance bubble that their partner helps to create and sustain and maintain. And very often that means their partner runs interference to the world and the evil environment out there so that they can sit back and not feel overwhelmed and stressed about it all. And that can often be quite arduous. It can be a lot of work, it can be a lot of effort. Because if you have things like, okay, so going out and getting a real job that is difficult, is stressful and overwhelming, and I just can't handle it. I just want to stay at home with the kids or work from home or whatever it is, or just sit on the beach and drink margaritas. Can't I just have peace? Well, that means the other partner has to go pick up extra shifts, work 2 jobs, work a really serious, deep, intense job. If the one partner is stressed out by paying bills or talking to serious people or whatever it is, well then, okay, the other partner has to do all the bill paying and talk to all the serious people. If answering the phone freaks me out, well, I guess the partner has to answer the phone every time it rings. So they like and appreciate their partner for doing all this additional work, creating and sustaining this long-range bubble of safety that keeps the world and all the evils out of their way. And they like them for that. So their partner goes off and does all this stuff. And then when their partner's like, okay, I want some love, I want some sex, I want affection, I want intimacy, and they try and get it from the anxious partner, often it's like they just run into an invisible force field. Oh my God, you're smothering me. You're all over me. I don't want it. Why are you doing this? We had sex last week. This is all you think about. And what is happening is that the anxious spouse is still anxious about intimacy, sex, affection, being close to people. And they have all this free energy now to maintain and sustain their own little close range internal force field, their own little bubble. So they've kind of sort of duped their partner into maintaining the long range one, so they have all this free energy so that they can maintain their short range one, which forever leaves their partner sort of bouncing around between these 2 bubbles in this sort of middle distance. That's their job to keep the long range up, but they can never get fully close in. And it's an insanely frustrating position to be in because you get all these mixed messages. I love you for maintaining the big external long-range bubble. Oh my God, you're all over me for trying to get inside the short-range bubble. It's maddening. So the question is, what do you do? And I mean, and that's really a whole extra video of what you need to do. But in a nutshell, you have to slowly stop the participation in maintaining the external bubble for them and start demanding that they step up and actually start dealing with the real world, and that they actually have to start, dealing with their own stresses and their own anxiety and take a little more responsibility for it rather than palming it all off onto you. And slowly but surely, you have to start demonstrating that unless they can start taking that sort of close range bubble down once in a while and really let you in and give you, the love, sex, intimacy, and affection that you're looking for. I mean, the whole package. Yeah. I mean, guys get slammed for only wanting sex, and it's really not true. Do they want sex? Yes, they do, but they do want love, affection, and intimacy as well. So you have to slowly start demonstrating that, unless this close range bubble comes down, or softens or weakens, at some point you're just going to be on your merry way because you will never get what you want from the relationship. You will always be kept at arm's length distance. And this is all a very slow, steady, methodical process. It's not like you watch this video and you need to ultimatum your spouse, 4 minutes after you watched it. But this is what you start needing to do. And you start with not participating in maintaining that external long-range bubble quite so much, and then slowly start whittling away at the internal one. Because at the end of the day, if you're in these situations where you're bouncing around in that middle distance all the time, the anxious spouse needs their partner a whole lot more usually than their partner needs the anxious spouse. The more normal partner usually has far more leverage in the relationship than the anxious one. It may not look like that and it may not feel like that, but when you start standing up for yourself and drawing a few lines in the sand and demanding that the anxious spouse start doing things, who really carries the power in the relationship becomes far more apparent, slowly but surely. So, running a little long, that is the video for today. I will probably come back and talk about this issue. Tomorrow is going to be hectic. I got my daughter graduating high school. I'll come back to this soon. So anyway, hope you liked the video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good internet stuff. And I will talk to you soon.